Peace be upon you and welcome to Mufti's TV. My name is Abdullah Dede Isa and I'm here with my senior, my teacher, Sir Amin Dabo. Welcome, sir.
Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam. How are you doing?
Wallah, alhamdulillah.
MashaAllah. MashaAllah. This being our first video on our channel.
Okay.
And we are very glad and honored to have you with us.
MashaAllah.
We want to discuss issues concerning our environment, about the youths, and even beyond that, inshallah ta'ala.
MashaAllah.
So I think this has been our first video, as we all know, to talk about education.
Education.
Yeah. Because we're not even in an age that we misunderstand what education is. So I think now today's video, I want us to elaborate and make it known to the public, especially those schooling now, what education really means. Maybe with that, we can reshape some aspects of our lives and our societies.
Sure.
So I think the board is now yours. What's education when we say education?
Thank you so much, Mr. Dede. To begin with, actually, I would like to first say thank you for giving me such an invite, which I think is very prestigious. And looking at the topic, as you asked, what is education? So oftentimes, education itself doesn't have a static definition. It's a dynamic something. One may give you a definition of education millenniums ago. And then someone will give you the same or maybe an opposing or opposite definition 2 decades or 5 decades ago. So let me define it in our current generation. So for someone like me, I would say education is simply a way to enhance our thinking skills. Oftentimes, there is this notion and perception that when we are educated, like the society or the government owes us a job, or we are entitled to some office works or civil service or civil servant kind of stuffs. It is not like that in our generation. So education can simply be put as a method where one can go through formally to enhance your thinking skills, your reasoning skills, and problem detecting and then problem solving skills. Yes, formally, for me to put it that way, I would say that is education.
Education.
Yes.
So education does not mean that going to school for 13 years, coming out with a good degree, having a job.
So you see, normally that's the perception. We have education where one has to enroll either yourself or themselves to formally kind of have the capacity to think, to be able to know how can I contribute to my social development.
So supposed to train you,
equip you with thinking skills, problem solving skills, and then how to resolve, or let me say, conflict resolution. But I think education today is the opposite of going and then demanding a job. No. There are a lot of people, when you bring in issues of job, for instance, there are a lot of people who are educated. Yet they are educated, but they lack some certain skills that the industry needs. We are in someone would say a knowledge-based generation. Knowledge, not education. Knowledge itself is the skill, because through education you are earning or gaining what? Knowledge. The end result of schooling is a certificate. But when you have a proper knowledge, the end result of it is a skill. And oftentimes when you even apply for a job, a company is not in need of your education, but rather your skills. The end result.
China, for instance, I think they go for skills than the degrees you have.
Which is what we confuse. We conflict ourselves in this portion of the world. We go to school, we are educated, and we feel like the society or the government owes us a job. And oftentimes when we are graduate, we even feel ashamed to kind of start some side hustle and do things. So there is a whole misconception about
education.
This education. Yes.
So education is it supposed to be like a formal, like having it in a classroom, or kind of education at home or somewhere else?
So education, as I said earlier, is not something static, which can be found in one specific place. It's dynamic. There are those who are well educated even from their homes. Oftentimes, people believe the evidence for your education is the quality of English
Speak.
you speak,
Okay.
or to some extent, the kind of certificate you would
Okay.
show up. Education is dynamic. There are people who are educating themselves in industries,
Okay.
earning skills, making money. Others are in the market hustling. All is a form of education. And then we have the institutional one, which is in the four walls of a classroom. That's where a lot of people used to think that's the actual education.
Okay.
Because why? You will be certified.
Okay.
We could easily say someone is in the tailoring shop, barbering shop, fashion designing, cake baking, IT related works. At the end of the day, the person will earn a certificate.
Yeah.
So equally, that person is educating
Okay.
him or herself.
Okay.
So education is not something within a school alone. Education cannot be found in school. And a lot of times, we even as youth, we confuse this notion. And we end up, you will see us, instead of making progress, we are making movement.
Okay.
Why? Because what am I trying to say? We are in school, but we don't even know whether we are educating ourselves or whether we are schooling.
Okay.
Because these are two different scenarios.
Okay.
We end up after 4 years in tertiary earning a degree or master's or any HND or diploma, and we think we've made a progress. Meanwhile, someone is at home, never enrolled in a formal institution, but can solve and fix the electronic problems of a housing or community
Yeah.
than a student who enrolled in a school to learn this engineering stuff.
It's true.
So it requires additional skills, asking beyond even the classroom, not just depending on your lectures, but taking advancement and researching and all those things.
So looking at that, our Ghana, for instance,
Sure.
our education system. What do you think about it? Like, is it okay, or it still needs like some amendment? Because looking at it, looking at your explanation for education is, I think we have many potholes to be filled.
Sure. You know, Ghana, normally the parliamentary session, they have the education committee.
Okay.
And I believe it is time they need to review. Oftentimes, when you look at even the political space of Ghana, you would realize they brought a name, a new slogan, STEM education.
Yeah.
STEM
Yeah.
education,
Yeah.
which equally tells all of us that those in authority knows we are having a work system in our education. It needs overhauling.
Okay.
But everything comes with a price
Okay.
to pay. Now, look at Ghana, for example. I have a lot of colleagues who are in UDS and other universities across,
Okay.
reading computer science. But oftentimes they come when we engage, talk. They kind of tell you, look, sometimes our lectures engage us in a way we don't even know the road we are heading to.
It's true. For that, it's true.
Computer science
testify
students in
to
level 300, 400 cannot even write a programming language.
I testify to that.
You get me?
Yeah.
Now, we have our high school education, which is supposed to be the middle bridge between the grade level and then the tertiary level. Normally, high school is supposed to produce good students who will be able to pick the final battle in tertiary.
Okay.
But this is a situation where even our high school students go into tertiary education, read a course, after 4 years, they will be like, who even sent me into this department?
Okay.
Our guidance and counseling committee, whose sole responsibility is to sit with students, inspire them, help them get their road, I don't think it's even effectively functioning. Our parents, they have a role, and most of them think their responsibility ends the very moment they pay the fees.
Yeah.
That's not. Parents' responsibilities goes beyond that, making sure your child brings home an assignment, looking at the skills they are earning and acquiring. Because I used to say something, people do what you inspect, not what you expect.
Wow.
So as a parent, when you voice your concerns, when you follow up to school, teachers will do their best.
Okay.
Teachers will stay up, and principals and administrators will make sure right things are being done.
Okay.
When there are a lot of pressures on them, they will also pass the pressure on the government.
Yeah.
So we have a total overhauling. Most of our students, I believe our institution together with our senior high schools aren't producing problem solvers, but rather just school graduates with certificates. And oftentimes you hear them telling you there is no job. Oftentimes they won't tell you the truth. I believe, yes, no country has enough job for everybody, but there is enough job for every skilled student.
Wow.
Yes, a lot of times they go to interview, their degree is first class, but they can't even communicate confidently.
Effectively, okay.
So the hirer or the company knows that I'm not hiring your degree, I'm rather hiring you. So the degree won't do the job but you.
Okay.
But here you are, you can't even communicate effectively. How more can you even handle our customers or market our products or add quota and even evaluation and revenue to our company's income? So all these things are something I believe we all need to look at. So our education, I believe, has a lot to be looked upon. There is a lot of holes that need to be, and it involves all stakeholders. Our government or the parliamentarians alone cannot do it. We are in a society where Boko, for instance, Sheikh, allow me to, Boko crisis. This tension over there cannot be solved by a student who just had 8 A's or first class.
No.
But can be solved with students with problem-solving skills, conflict resolution. And oftentimes, there is a lot in the business world. But students oftentimes confuse work and then business. Salary, I used to define salary. Salary is like a perfume. You get me, Sheikh? It's like a perfume. It doesn't do away with your body odor permanently. It manages it for some time. Same way salary. It can't cure your poverty. It manages it for some time. But we need to delve into the business world. But here is the case, even our school, instead of prioritizing agriculture, so we can be adding value to our food. But no, we are instead focusing on students who can speak good English, solve that A1 first class. That alone is good, but it's not the excellent thing we are aiming
at. From all what you've said, a personal experience of mine that I encountered in the national service. I'm one of the senior schools in Tamale.
You did your national service,
It's one of the schools that people do boast about. In the north, in the northern part of Ghana. So my first day in the classroom, I think they were final year students about to write their WASSCE examination when I came in. So I was assigned to teach them ICT, which was an elective subject. So I came to the class early in the morning. That being my first day in school, I just came inside. I asked for a marker and I wrote class test. They were like, "Who is this young man and where is he from? Like, what's he trying to do?" I don't mind them. Just for question 1. And I wrote, "Why are you in school? Why are you here?" I was somehow they kind of they don't know what to write. Even somebody asking their colleagues what to write. So I was like, you should have known these people before stepping into the senior high school. Why am I coming here? What's education? You have to understand all these basics before you even kind of start your journey. Someone wrote, "I'm here to gain experience." Someone wrote, I'm the first one of my mother. I'm here to learn life. So I was like, oh, even I still have those people at home. They are still at home. I have them at home.
Wow.
So I spoke to them and made them know that education is something else, so not what they think it is. And most of the times we have students who are good in skills, but not good in reading. I will term these students as failures. What do you have to say about that? Students who are good, maybe in maybe motor fitting, mechanics, maybe electricals, they are good in maybe carpentry, woodwork. But when it comes to reading, they're not that good in that. These young men and women are termed as failures just because they can't maybe fit into the English speaking environment.
Sheikh, before I chip in, I oftentimes used to say something. We are already living in a judgmental society. When people do not understand you, they think you are whack. Now, what is even the fundamental basis of bringing in a school system? Whatever course we are teaching students should have its industry. Something should be linked to it. Yes. Thomas Edison and all the engineers didn't wake up one day and discover the light bulbs. But to make everything more safety, They brought in their research. It was tabulated or accumulated together as a pamphlet.
Okay.
To be able to teach, we need to build a classroom, bring in human beings, teach them formally. Now, Sheikh, to teach a student, first thing as a teacher, I've always been saying, teachers have a responsibility that goes beyond just standing at the marker board.
Okay.
As a teacher, you need to know the potentials of your student, because virtually every single human being has something he or she is good at.
Yeah.
Nobody is completely useless. They have something they are good at.
Yeah.
Find out what that is, or help them find out what that is. Put them on the road, guide them, inspire them, and encourage them to keep going.
Okay.
And the government's job is to have an industry that matches their talents. Now, Sheikh, thank you. Okay. Sheikh, you asked a minute ago. Here we have students who are good in skills, but they cannot read, they cannot write, or sorry to say. And this is where the judgment comes in. If you cannot read, you cannot write, you are a whack. Says who? We don't know. But this is how the system has been designed. Okay. I'm good in mathematics. I'm good in solving virtually everything. But when you tell me to solve the English or speak English or even address issues, I'm not good. I'm good in maths. Is the school, the government, together with my parents, should I say the three arms of a student, that's supposed to kind of know my skills, shape me. The government needs to enroll something. Quite ago, I was asking students, a lot of them will say, after high school, I want to go into military. I need to buy forms. Our high schools have cadets.
Yeah.
Sheikh, why is our cadet not attached to the Ghana Army?
Wow.
Like, it should be.
Yeah, it should.
Every barracks can have 2 instructors on every high school.
Yeah.
To be coaching, training. Yes, virtually not everybody in the cadet will qualify. Yeah. But at the end of the day, it's like a wasi. Those who make it out, join the army. Now we have electronic and electrical engineering. We know the industries, when you read those courses, you go into. Now we have, let me say, what again? We have the health sector.
Okay.
It's government who builds hospitals, including both public and private hospitals. After graduating, you know you're going to all those. But then, Sheikh, as we speak, our students do not even sit down and access themselves.
Okay.
Because oftentimes, as a student, you should know that you are responsible for getting yourselves from where you are to where you need to be.
Yeah.
Nobody would come and carry you.
No.
People, yes, might encourage you, but at the end of the day, it's your fight.
Yeah.
So how do you get there? These are some of the basic questions. But then even our school environment is not designed to inspire us to think critically. Everything has been politicized. When you question it, it's like you are attacking the government.
It's true.
And I can tell you, out of 100%, out of every 10 students you would meet in Ghana, I can tell you only 2 or 3 would effectively know what they are doing and then are equally reading a relevant program.
Okay.
Oftentimes, the programs we read in universities, they are virtually irrelevant, just elegant.
I think we'll find a session for that, like the programs in universities and even senior high schools.
All right.
That students should kind of like move into instead of reading like those that are not relevant for today's society. But before that, you spoke about the parents playing a role in shaping the students' future or shaping where they are supposed to be in the future. Yeah. Some parents only hear what their colleagues say, or only see maybe they have a neighbor who is a nurse and she's doing good. So all they want is for a child to become a nurse in the future. Instead of them sitting her down, as you already said, talking to her, monitoring her, and seeing where her power lies and where her weakness is. Maybe that they can shape or help her get to where they want to be. So what do you have for the parents out there?
You know, Sheikh, as I said something, it takes 2 wings.
If you can stop calling me Sheikh and call me Abdullah.
It takes 2 wings for a bird to fly.
Yeah.
Issues of educating a student is a shared responsibility from a parent in collaboration with a teacher. Yes. As a parent, you want your child to do something, to go into something. Find one teacher who has been tutoring or mentoring your kid. Discuss with them.
Okay.
You know your child domestically within the home, I mean the house, from charity and errands and morals and manners. This teacher knows your child in the formal sector, from books to maths to relationship with students and brain growth. So when you team up and collaborate, sir or teacher, this is what I assume or anticipate for my child. What do you have to say about that? When you cooperate, whatever your agreement, at the end of the day, it is the child who will sit for that course.
Okay.
Engage the child.
Okay.
This is what I want you to do. Or this is what I assume you can do. What do you have to say? Oftentimes we engage children in a manner from a force, a manner like, already since we are the one taking care of you, we've concluded you're doing this, which doesn't help. Not everybody is equipped to become a nurse.
Okay.
A lot of them are reading nursing even as we speak. The uniform is just beautiful to them. That's why they are in there.
There's this funny story of a colleague that once they were in classroom, I think back in senior high school, this lady was nowhere like among like the serious ones. She always failed the examination. Even writing was even a problem for her.
Wow.
So he once went to the hospital. I think he was sick for an injection, and he saw her and he saw his colleague, lady, as a nurse. I had to leave it because he was like, the person I was even good. Like I was even better than. It's not to inject me.
Inject.
He will not like kind of go with that. So he left.
You know, Sheikh, last I was speaking with students of Ghana school.
Okay.
So I was telling them something. They brought issues about conflict. And we were discussing something.
Okay.
And I was telling them to kind of destroy a nation, you don't even use weapons anymore.
Yeah, it's true.
You don't use nuclear weapons.
Yeah.
Simple way is to, that's the simple way, but then the most costly way is to corrupt the system of their education. Patients are going to die at the hands of such nurses. Houses, our infrastructure are going to crumble at the hands of such engineers.
Which is happening now.
Students are not going to be even pragmatically effective at the hands of such teachers, because everybody will be passing virtually by malpractices.
Oh. Please let me chip in here. Yeah, just Batco here. Some for mentioning the name of that school. But I have a colleague, I think they're in their final year now. Once we were speaking, I made the post on WhatsApp. So I think he said to me that he even has colleagues that are not fit to be teachers. Colleagues themselves need to be taught, but not to teach. But after 1 year from now, they'll be in the field teaching. Even good English, they even speak my English song. Like they can't speak good English. Even mathematics is a problem. So now such a teacher will come to the classroom trying to kind of like, because you only kill the students. Because you can't teach them for them to understand. So I think our system, every corner of it is spoiled. And before we want to achieve what we want, I think we have to come back and kind of rectify our foundations.
Shay, the question coming back is even the problem.
Okay.
Who would lead the coming back? Who would advocate for it?
Okay.
Virtually all of us are kind of, I don't know even the word to kind of choose. I don't care, because I believe it's everybody's job. So somebody will do it. And everybody thinks since nobody is doing it, nobody cares.
Okay.
So it's like a blame game now. And those who make it through, go and find out. Some of the teachers or nurses or even doctors we have in our institutions are there not even by merit, but by political affiliations they have.
Okay.
I don't know whether you even hear the calendar in our system. Now, getting a job is about who you know.
Even teaching job. Yesterday, I saw a post. There is a degree and diploma teaching field available. So I was like, where from all these?
Yeah, these are some of the things like we virtually have to sit down and look at. It's your job as a citizen. It's everybody's job as a Ghanaian to kind of, sit down and know the role you have to play, your contribution. These are our sisters, our brothers in junior high, coming all the way to senior high, Oftentimes, how many times have you heard? You could see, go around and research and testify. You will be applying to school. Maybe one school, for instance, high school. She's graduating BECE. I want to read science because they believe science is for the brilliant.
Yeah, it's true.
After applying science, after first semester or second semester, she feels like, no, I can't do this.
It's not easy.
Meaning she applied without any guidance, without any counseling.
Yeah.
And I used to say the fact that our parents never enrolled in formal education doesn't mean they are empty-headed.
Yeah,
No.
it's true.
Education is not any big deal. It is tailored towards, after end of it, you are coming back to the industry, which is the world of business. Whatever we do in education is business. You earn. You teach, you are being paid.
Yeah.
You go into medical field, you are taking care of the sick, you are being paid. Others get degrees and masters, but students with great brains don't even want to get a job or apply for a job.
Yeah.
They graduate with all these skills, gathered it up, come back to the business world, pick up skills, especially now that social media and IT related skills, they capitalize on it, grow their skills, invest, and start earning. And lots have a lot of degrees. Wallahi, we can't even tell.
But even if you are to maybe rank today's world, the billionaires, the trillionaires, even in Ghana here, I think most of them completed that. Even their senior education, like our master Mahama.
Yes,
Ibrahim Mahama.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think
Ibrahim Mahama Jr. to.
Yeah, I think he was a dropout.
Okay.
But today, the things he is doing, we have people who teach in university, professors who can even do half of
what he
is doing.
Sure.
We have even Dangote.
Aliko.
Is he like, I don't know, but is he school? Like,
yeah,
he's
school.
Oh, okay.
But then all of them,
okay.
Aliko Dangote, for example, his virtue and wealth didn't come out of whatever certificate. No, he took risks.
Okay.
Somewhere in 1970s, he moved down from Kano all the way to Lagos. That was where he started the hustle.
Wow.
Not in a university. That doesn't mean we are telling anybody to stop schooling.
Okay.
But this is Aliko Dangote who took the risk. Okay. Sometimes we have to know, like, it goes this way. Do what you have to do until you can do what you want to do.
Okay.
That's what you need to do. And when you make it big like Dangote and Ibrahim Mahama, it is universities who would rather be giving you honorary degree instead of you sitting in the classroom. Aliko Dangote went to school, did his own normal best, but Aliko Dangote didn't earn anything from
school.
He started making hustling in 70s.
Okay.
All the way till date. And through political connections, taking risks, Obasanjo's government sold most of Nigeria's state resources to him.
Okay.
And he started capitalizing on it.
Wow.
You can fact check on Ibrahim Mahama as well. All of them are individuals who took risks. Sitting in a classroom alone is risk. We are not saying drop out or quit.
Yeah.
But then don't just be there relaxed, thinking the book or the lecturer or the teaching going on alone is enough. It's not enough. We have people who are educated but they are illiterate. Somehow you call them educated or educational illiterate.
Okay.
And then we have those who are not educated, but they are making gains. And there is virtually nothing they cannot do.
Yeah.
Wallahi Sheikh, you can fact check me. There are most courses we read in university today. With your Google or AI, you can learn them in 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. It's true.
So why are we there in the first place? And whose job is to scrap these courses? The government. But the government won't. Because now these courses are an avenue for students to enroll. Pay fees, the government to subsidize this money in a salary form.
Okay.
So there are more courses in our tertiary education or institution today that are irrelevant, and they have no, should I say, industries. Even those with industries, how much more do you get the job? Talk less of taking up these irrelevant courses. So we need to look at it. And then education is not something about a race. It's not a competition.
Okay.
The fact that one has graduated at 20 with masters doesn't mean you should push your child to also try to
see.
No.
Yeah.
We all have our own different pace, different time, and different story.
Mashallah.
The very people who will say no to you, some people better than them will say yes to you.
Wow.
And everything comes as its own pace.
Yeah.
So I believe school system, it's a stakeholder something. We all need to sit. If I say all the government, our stakeholders, the teachers, the parents, and including the students.
Yeah.
so that we know the way forward.
Okay.
You go to America today, Sheikh, wallahi, there are some courses. I virtually speak with a lot of students over there, though I have never been there.
Okay.
They tell you, in America, there are most courses we do here in Africa. I don't know if only Ghana. In Africa in general. In America, they've tabulated all of it and made it a general studies. It's just not anything relevant. Every academic year, Americans or some Europeans equally sit down, review their curriculum.
Wow. To fit their current situation.
To feed the students the current demands of the world.
Okay.
So you take, for example, students who go to university 5 decades ago, which is 50 years back,
okay,
will read financial accounting, business admin, or any banking sector job.
Okay.
When they graduate, what do they work? The bank. Either as tellers, cashiers, consultancy, or whatever. Today, fast forward, the ATM machine is there. So, Sheikh, let me ask you, if you are to build a bank today, even without the knowledge of how to run a bank, are you going to keep hiring a lot of human beings in the services or a lot of ATM and machines to?
I think I'll go for the machine. Because for the machines, one, they are reliable.
Thank you.
And two, human beings sometimes also fall short. So don't think about maybe money being stolen or something. No, because the machine manage everything for you.
In just a jiffy minute.
Yeah.
You don't pay salary.
Yeah.
So now can we say those courses regarding banking sector, can we call them irrelevant today or not? I think it's fair enough to call them irrelevant.
Yeah.
But then nobody wants to take the hard pill. To get well when you are sick, to heal, you have to take the pill.
It's true.
It's bitter, but that's the only way. But then it's all of us. I mean, our job.
Okay.
We can't look at the president alone and say, okay, we voted, all right, go and fix our problem for us. No, it doesn't work that way.
Which means we all have a role to play in shaping the...
That's why there is a saying that we are all political animals. Virtually, Sheikh, everything today you are to discuss in life comes back to governance and politics.
Okay.
So thereby we can't run away from it. I believe Ghana is talking about free senior high school education. There are those who are saying, okay, good. There are those who are saying it's good, but the system is not helping.
Yeah.
And I've spoke with a lot of students. They are telling me they even learn a lot when they attend extra classes than
even in school. For sure.
Now, we're in fact, not because the teachers aren't doing well, but they are not well motivated.
Unlike
before. I don't know, but we could fair enough say unlike before. They are not well motivated. And teachers are seeing a side hustle from the extra classes. When you teach well, a lot of students will come in. And then there are teachers I spoke with, a lot of my friends. They are telling me, look, we earn a lot in a week than even what we earn a salary in a month.
For this, I have many teachers who I can use as an example. I have a teacher, I think this is a senior high school.
Okay.
One of the seniors in Tamale here. And he owns a printing shop. For him, his salary is used for saving susu. He only depends on the money he gets from the business he owns.
Okay.
Such a person will not put like everything he has into the teaching, because I don't really, if he's sacked today, he still have something to
kind of show
him. Even by the teaching job itself, it's not for someone who wants to make money with it. Teaching itself, it goes beyond making money.
Sure.
Because we are there to educate students, to bring out future leaders.
Sure.
But today, our current system today in Ghana now is to make money.
Money is virtually everyone's problem. And I've been saying, if you are not careful around those areas, that's even the mentality. Almost 8 out of every 10 students you meet know that they are going to school in the future to make money.
To make money,
So this is an old dogma.
Okay.
A notion that has to be getting rid of.
Okay.
When students start feeling like they owe a responsibility to themselves, to the nation, and to the generation who would come after them,
they will do more than that.
They will give their best.
Yeah.
But then nobody, imagine a teacher working in a classroom, himself demoralized, not motivated. What do you expect the teacher to impact in students?
Yeah.
You get me?
I think we've spoken much on education. And if you have anything to add, before I think we draw our conclusions?
So virtually check. That's it.
Okay.
Oftentimes, just that my advice to every student out there: this school system is not a competition.
Okay.
And next time, I would like to talk about something they call the awaiting.
Okay.
Something they hurriedly apply to when they finish high school. I have a lot of problems surrounding it, but due to the nature of time, I will leave it for our next session.
Okay.
So I would advise them it's not a competition. One may graduate early, which is fine. You might not even graduate. Not all of us are even going to see 30 or 40 years.
It's true. It's true.
Others will leave the world to join the silent majority. Some of us will even graduate with good grades, but would never have a job. Some would drop out, go into business, make a lot of money. Some are in prison. Others are even in the hospital. So virtually, we should understand that the school system is for our own personal skills.
Okay.
If school is not making you think critically, speak practically, and then solve things artistically, then I think we should review.
Okay.
The goal is not just to have 100% in the book.
Okay.
No. As far as you're gaining something, you're making friends, you're understanding some skills, some problems, you are making progress. Just don't go around carrying your bags, showing up to class, looking at the marker board, coming back to the dorm or going home and think you are making progress. No. They should try to avoid and know the distinct difference between movement and then progress.
Okay.
Or in other words, schooling and then education.
Okay.
So these are my little advice, including to our parents.
Okay.
Because the more they show concern, I believe everything would be fine. Because for me as a teacher, when you bring your kids, I'm their teacher. Maybe I didn't give them assignment today. I feel lazy. And you never complained as a parent. I kept on. The principal will not know.
It's true.
It's you, the parents.
We have to push it.
Check the bag. Yes, even if you're not schooled or you never went to school, where is your homework? You call someone who is educated. Check his assignment. No, he didn't bring. Oh, okay. Second time he didn't bring. You have to follow up and tell me, look, your responsibility as parent is you pay fees.
Okay.
And that fees is being used as my salary. So you have every right to ask. The moment you start asking, I'll sit up. Human being by nature, when we sit down to expect things will not come.
Okay.
But when we keep inspecting, that's why I said earlier, people do what you inspect. When you inspect, they will do not what you expect.
Wow.
So these are my little advice to all of us, inshallah.
Okay. Yes. Thank you very much, Mr. Se Amin Dabo. Please subscribe to our channel for more videos, inshallah ta'ala. Have a nice day. Peace be upon you all.